Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome our Hadith disciples and YouTubers upon the Sunnah of the Messenger of Allah, Muhammad ibn Abdullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to another episode of 5 Minutes of Faith. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah, amma ba'd. The people of knowledge have mentioned for valid marriage 5 main conditions. 5 main prerequisites for a marriage to be correct and to be valid. The first of those 5 conditions we say in the Arabic language is called ta'yin az-zawjayn, which means that the 2 spouses have to be specially pointed out, that you must specify who's getting married. In other words, if a man has more than one daughter and he says to the young man wanting to take the hand of marriage of one of his daughters, he says, I marry you off to my daughter. You can have one of my daughters. But he has 4 daughters. Which one? He can't just go and pick. If he does, he says, well, I'll take the oldest one, or the youngest one, or the one who has the most knowledge of the Quran. We say that the marriage is invalid. It's invalid because it wasn't specified, and he must know which one it is. And vice versa goes for the man, okay, the young man. Khayr, inshallah. Moving on. Condition number 2 is that which is called in the Arabic language Ridha zawjayn, is the good pleasure and the consent of the 2 spouses, of the bride and the groom. In other words, no one can be coerced. No one can be forced. If a man forced his son to marry this girl, or forced his daughter to marry this young man, and she did not want to marry him, she was not pleased, she did not give her consent, we say that marriage is null and void. Condition number 3, that is, the marriage must be done, or the young woman's hand must be given away by her guardian, her wali, her wakil, the man who's in charge of her marital affairs. Okay, al-wilaya in Arabic. Condition number 4 is that which we call ash-shuhud. There must be witnesses. There has to be witnesses for the marriage to be sound and for the marriage to be valid. If there are no witnesses, then it goes back to the understanding of that term, condition, and prerequisite. The marriage is invalid. The 5th condition, we said what? Number 1, to specify the 2 spouses. Number 2, there's a wali. We said before the wali is the ridha zawjayn, consent of the spouses. Number 3 is the wali. Number 4, we said, is the 2 shahada. Is the 2 witnesses. Khayran, inshallah, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, what is the 5th condition? One may ask. Alright? We don't want to go too deep down the rabbit hole. However, we say that all of these conditions are not agreed upon by all of the ulama. That's the first point. Secondly, within some of these conditions, there are further conditions. There are what we say? Further conditions. Such as, or an example of, a further condition is the wali. The vast majority of the ulama hold the opinion that there must be a wali for the marriage to be valid. There are conditions on the wali. Does he have to be Muslim? Can it be a she? Or can it be a male or female? Okay, if it is a male, then how old does he have to be? Is it a condition that the wali be righteous? Or can it be a sinful wali? Someone who shaves his beard, because we say shaving the beard is haram. It is impermissible for a Muslim man of age to shave his beard. Okay, and there are other sins that a person could commit. These are all which we call what? Furu'at fiqhiyya. These are branches and subsidiary issues of fiqh that are based off of the asl. Alright, now if you look over there, inshallah, briefly, we can see what? See those palm trees over there? We see the root. Okay, and the root is the roots of the trees are firmly grounded into the dirt, into the soil. And then we have the stump of the tree, the foundation of the tree. We have the branches of the tree. Okay, we have the leaves, and then on the leaves we have some remnants of fruits. The buds are just starting to come. It's not hot enough here in Medina for the dates to grow. It has to be extremely hot. So therefore, the first thing that you have to deal with as a student of knowledge is the asl, the foundation. Then you build upon the foundation. If you don't thoroughly and properly understand the condition, the proof and the evidence for the condition, you cannot get into the dynamics of the khilaf of the condition, nor the dynamics of the branches of that condition. So these are some of the different conditions of the valid marriage. And as we said before, and we'll say again, it's not something that is agreed upon by all of the ulama. Rather, there's some difference with regards to some of these conditions. However, what we've mentioned is sufficient, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best.